Hello everyone, it's Bo here, continuing my journey to 1 million ARR, and I'm excited to share that a few days ago we reached an important milestone. We're now at 8% of reaching our goal. I'm back in Cusco after amazing Inca trail to Machu Picchu, and I posted video about it. If you missed it, go and check it out. Now it's a time to dive back into work. This week I want to scale and optimize our new experiments in Google Ads. So I want to create a new landing page, and I will share exact process, how I am crafting it from the scratch. And on the weekend, I'm heading back to Peruvian mountains for another hike. So stay tuned to see some beauty, and let's crush this week. Today I want to create a new landing page for Google Ads experiment that we're already running. Recently we launched a new experiment targeting a new use case. Our main use case is Florida domicile or Florida tax residency for American digital nomads or expats. And recently we launched a new experiment in Google Search Ads targeting different use case, US residential address that a lot of Americans need for legal, financial purposes. At the beginning, we started with an old landing page for Florida domicile, and it works good enough, and we're already getting promising results, a nice customer acquisition cost, a lot of attention, a lot of clicks, but conversion rate is between 3 to 4%. So I want to create a separate landing page in order to scale this campaign and also improve our conversion rate, customer acquisition cost, but also churn. Because on this landing page, we don't explicitly mention that this is a solution for American citizens or residents. We're receiving a lot of clicks and also a lot of signups and even a few subscriptions from people who are not Americans. Our target audience for this page, American retirees and expats who want to stay financially connected and compliant with US laws while living overseas. I am focusing on three main elements that influence conversion on a landing page: motivation, value proposition, and reducing anxiety. This principle will guide me how I structure this page and how I write every section. The most important thing to create a landing page that converts visitors into customers is understanding of target audience. The best way to get insight into target audience motivation, what they're looking to into product, what an objection and anxiety they have, is to listen them. For me, this means digging into customer support conversation, reading reviews, reading forums, reading social media. This gives me a clear understanding of what phrases and actual words they use. And remember, the best copywriter is a happy customer. Now let me show how this research translates into each part of landing page. First up, hero section. It's the first thing that visitors see, so it must have a clear value proposition, it should grab attention, and it must describe who is this for. So, headline is usually a clear value proposition, and in our case is a US residential address for Americans abroad. In detailed value proposition, I will provide more details about solution and who is this for. So here I wrote, get a Florida residential address for American expats, nomads, and retirees, maintain U.S. financial ties, enjoy tax benefits, and simplify legal matters, no property ownership required. It might be changed in the future, but for now it's good. Let's go to the next section. Next is the motivation block, which dives deeper into visitors' needs, problems, and pain points. Motivation is the most important driver of conversion, which you also can influence, but with your copy, with your landing page, you can show visitors that you know what they're struggling with and you know a solution. To understand their motivation, I ask questions like, where is the customer in their search process? What are their desired outcomes? What are their pain points? For example, many expats struggling to keep US bank accounts open because they live abroad and a lot of bank and financial institutions require a residential address inside of US. Here I'm writing copy to show their pain points, problems that they have, to show them that we know what they're struggling with. First one is keep US bank accounts open. Second one, avoid hassles with address. And third one, save on state taxes. And I will write just more details. So what we have here in the end. Pinpoint about bank accounts opens that mention the most often, then mentioning hassle with addresses that our target audience usually have. They sometimes use family friends addresses, which not an ideal solution. And then in the end, we also mention about saving on state taxes, which is not a main use case here, but that what our product was designed for. Now we move into value block where we explain the benefits of our service, but I want to focus what our residential address is suitable for. So I will write here residential address suitable for all your needs, and then I will list bullet points with every use case that we heard and that we know about. So I already listed all of the reasons why our target audience looking for residential address, and it's keeping US bank accounts active, simplifying tax matters, managing social security and benefits, which is mostly important for retirees, obtaining Florida driver license, employment opportunities, working from abroad, and accessing healthcare and insurance. I also provided details why our address is working for banking solutions because our address is not a CM array, which is very important detail here. And all of our customers or potential customers that looking for this solution, they know that mail forwarding addresses, PA boxes don't work for banking. That's why I decided to mention here. In next section, I'm continue to describe what exactly we are offering for because we need to provide more details. First of all, it's exclusive residential address, exclusive residential address. Then we provide a proof of address, which is important part because a lot of institution banks that require a proof of address, utility bill, or some other type to show that this is your address. And last but not least, I want to mention our support and continuous improvement because policies and legislations always change and we have a backup options. We're looking into other solutions and it's important part of our product since a lot of potential customers ask us, oh, what will happen if, I don't know, they will change policy or how long your address will be valid. So I want to explicitly mention here. Now I will format it a bit better as a motivation block and I will provide more details. So I provided more details for this block and also place it in a way that easier to read. After that, usually I place a value proposition in a bit different ways with call to action to convert people that are already scrolling through. And for people who are not decided to sign up yet, we will provide a blog that reduce anxiety with some objections, with some potential roadblocks. So I created a new value proposition. It's basically the same, just different wordings. It would be visually a bit different just to convert people that scrolling through. Next up is anxiety reduction block. Chances are visitors have some objections, as they have some concern about is this service is legal, about delivery, about a lot of other things. So goal of this block is to answer all of these questions and reduce anxiety as much as possible. For example, one of the most asked questions is this service legal? Do I need to visit Florida? And all of these questions that we were receiving in a chat widget, in customer support, or we will ask on calls with potential customer. So I list all of them and I provided answer to each question. To put it all together, the structures that I use a hero section with value proposition, motivation block with pain points, desired outcomes with needs, value block with extensive description of value of your service or product, more details about product, value proposition again to convert scrollers, and anxiety reduction block where you answer all of the concerns, objections, and questions that potential customers might have. Next step is actually to design this landing page. I will share this copy and content with our designer. And in a few days or a week when it would be ready, I will share it with you. Wrapping up the week here from the beautiful mountains, it was a productive one. First off, I launched a new landing page on Friday and I decided to push it into launching first version without polishing before, just to launch it on 1st November so it would be easier to track conversions and changes in customer acquisition cost. I also hit a milestone 100 articles in our blog. Only this week I wrote 9 new articles and I was reflecting on it for 1 year to wrote 100 articles by myself. It's impressive and I'm proud by myself. Reflecting on it, it reminds me on something that apply to marketing and business overall. You basically do a lot of stuff, a lot of experiments, and you know that most of this stuff won't work, but some of the articles, some of the campaigns, some of the experiments pay off and give you exponential growth. The challenge is you can't always predict which will work, so you end up just experimenting and launching and launching and launching. This week I also joined around 10 calls with prospects and it helped me to write a copy and content for a new landing page connected to a new use case, US residential address, because I was listening to these people, their concerns, their problems, what they're struggling with, and what I want to remind you that happy customer is the best copywriter, and also prospects can give you a lot of insights about what you need to put on your landing page and what product you need to build. Finally, October was the best month in company history so far in terms of the added MRR and also in terms of the net revenue. I will break down all of the details, all of the experiments that led us to this growth in a separate monthly results video. So subscribe to the channel so you won't miss updates and all of the metrics from October. On a personal note, I continue exercising every day during the week and I'm really happy that I built this habit because I feel so refreshed and energized after exercise. I feel kind of like an energy pump like I have after coffee. So I try to stick with this routine. I also try to experiment so it won't be boring. Thanks for following along. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any action and future updates. And thank you. See you in the next video.